You look at the standings and where everybody's ranked and who doesn't have wins. I'll make the point of Arkansas and Vandy, which was an awesome finish. I mean, that Vandy obviously is fighting hard to get a win, and Arkansas has been in the top 25, and that game came down to the buzzard. So our team knows how hard this league is, but to your point and your question, to play at home, it's just that extra energy that you can't deny to help us hopefully come out with a win.
Look at this Auburn team. Just what's kind of your thoughts on them and just what they're good at?
Yeah, you know what, man, they get after it. They flat out get after it. They play hard. They've had some injury bugs, so they haven't been able to have their full team year round. And come at you with everybody on the roster. But I feel like if you look around the SEC, that's kind of all of us, me included. But you know what? You're going to get their best punch. They've been in every game, and they play hard for 4 quarters, so we've got our work cut out.
I know they won't be on the floor, but Auburn's got some familiar faces to this fan base. John Harris and Katera Chappell and Savannah Carter. What type of emotions do you expect from their side, coming back to the home?
Well, I think it's gonna be huge. For them to come back home, and then the thing that I want our staff and our fan base is we're gonna treat them with respect. They're one of us. The moments they had here and the time they spent in this community, not only for their coaching staff, but any coaching staff who comes back home, I always want them to feel welcome, and then obviously until the tip happens. And then at that point, we're competitors. So I think that could speak for anybody. But after that, we're going to hug each other. But again, forever grateful for the time they put into this program and the work done before I ever took over.
Yes, I know we've talked a lot about Alana this past week or so, but, you were with her at Louisville. You saw, I think she only had, 5 starts in 2 seasons. I guess, how did she kind of embrace that role at Louisville, kind of waiting her turn and then, coming here and jumping on this opportunity?
How does she? So let me understand the question, though.
So while she was at Louisville, I guess, what was kind of the message to her of, kind of waiting her turn, knowing that, at some point an opportunity would come?
Yeah. No, at Louisville, Louisville wasn't so much wait her opportunity; it was trying to seek it. And the problem was she was playing behind pros. Like, we had WNBA draft prospects where she was fighting for those minutes but just not given the opportunity. And then obviously coming here with a thin roster, she saw an opportunity that she really could capitalize on. And the thing I'm so excited about Alana when coming here to Mississippi State is even though she wanted a larger role, I think I can speak for all her teammates. You know what? She cares so much about people and her teammates. If you ever ask her, her biggest joy in life is seeing others succeed. And so for her to have her moment and play so well, I think her teammates were as happy for her as she was always happy for everybody else. So I'm just happy to see her, have a great game. But again, that's what I'm excited about my team. And I've been saying this. I got different kids night in and night out who can step up, and that's what makes us a great team.
I guess what is it like for you as a coach, knowing that she was playing behind those pros at Louisville, but she was actually taking something from it and not just being frustrated that she wasn't getting playing time?
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes of her character. Because in today's society, you're starting to read, and it's sad. Just people just stop playing. They don't fight, right? And that's the beauty of sports. There's a lot of life lessons that if you stick with it and you trust the process, good things can happen. And she has done that. She was huge for us back when we were at Louisville, helping being a part of that Final Four team and the role that she took. And she's huge for us in the role that she's taken on here at Mississippi State. There was no surprise for me what she did that night because I mentioned I watched her in the Elite 8 against Stanford, have an unbelievable game. I watched her play UConn at UConn and put up, I think, 16 points. So for her to play like that, she has it in her, and just glad she could have a game like that in a Mississippi State uniform.
Y'all played, 3 of the best teams in the league to start off SEC play after the Vanderbilt game. 3 teams that were undefeated going into last weekend.
Yeah.
You got a stretch here. This 3 teams that, quite frankly, at the bottom of the league. I mean, how big is this stretch here to kind of build some momentum, you think?
Well, every game's big. To your point, you can look at it standings and say, oh, okay, we're playing the bottom. But the bottom is nowhere near the bottom in the SEC. I referenced the Arkansas-Vanderbilt game. Vanderbilt is fighting for a win, and they take Arkansas, who I don't know where they're at currently in the polls, but they were top 25. And that was a shot at the buzzard off a bank that it went down to the wire. Texas A&M, I have so much respect for them. I talked about them. They're fighting like no other, but they're tough. So our mindset it's got to be to understand, we're playing at home. and we need to protect our house. And let's have that moment to understand that it's going to be 4 quarters, and let's don't get caught up in the opponent, but let's make sure we play Mississippi State basketball, and let's see how the chips fall.
I know that Auburn's dealt with some injuries, kind of like Texas A&M did, maybe not to that extent.
Right.
They've had a couple players, some of their best players out.
Yeah.
What have you seen from them in the last few weeks? What did that kind of present coming in this week?
Yeah, despite the injuries, boy, they play hard. They get after it. They make you work for every catch, dead ball. They're going to challenge you to inbound the ball. They're going to make you finish layups. And they play with unbelievable speed where they just come at you on the defensive end, and they're going to say, hey, can you guard me or not? And again, they're a team that doesn't quit. They play with a lot of emotion, and they're just tough for 4 quarters. So we've got our work cut out.
You got a lot of family ties to Auburn.
I do.
With Joe and your father-in-law and being an alum and things. What's it like to play, I guess, your alma mater?
Yeah, I honestly haven't put much thought into it. It's kind of like when I took the job. I'm forever loyal and thankful to Mississippi State for giving me the opportunity. And I'm so excited to be here. Obviously, I'll always have respect because I graduated from there. But at the same time, just like we talked about the storyline on the opposing bench with the coaches and the alums who are coming back here and they're representing Auburn, where we're going to respect them. At the same time, I'm going to have respect for Auburn. But when the tip's off, I'm going to be coaching Mississippi State. And that's where my heart is. And my family, we're forever grateful for this opportunity. I love living here.
I think the South Carolina game had 5 points off the bench. The last game was 6 points off the bench. Is that where you want the bench? Are you looking for more production off the bench?
You know what? I'm not so much caught up. It's a great question, but I'm not caught up with our team. It's beautiful because I tell them I don't want to have a set script. Because the teams I've been fortunate enough in the NCAA is being ready for the cards that are dealt, whether foul trouble, somebody going down, that person's night. It's about reading that storyline of how the game's evolving and staying with it. We mentioned Texas A&M. It was Alana's night. Tennessee, Annie had the hot hand just getting assists left and right. So it was like, get her the ball because she's just finding people. Jessica Carter, we've seen multiple nights where they ain't got an answer for her. And so we fed her. So that's kind of where our mindset is, and I think that's why we're having so much success right now.
You and Johnny Harris probably spent some time around each other, whether AAU game or whatever. Both of y'all big time assistants coming up. But what do you know about Johnny and the job she's doing now as a head coach and what she's done in the past?
Great question. Obviously, huge respect. All right, because like you said, we start off as assistants together. That game that I told you was the story of my life, the Mississippi State Louisville game. She was the assistant, and we talked for probably 5 minutes before that game, and it was just respect. Respect for each other, respect for how hard we work, respect for each other's assistants at that time in 2018. And then, when she got the head coaching job at Auburn, I went up to her, on the recruiting trail and just told her congrats because I was happy for her, more or less that she took, Auburn job because I'm an alum, but just who she is as a person. And every time we see each other, we talk. And again, that's who I'm attracted to, and that's why I'm so excited to be here at Mississippi State because it's about people. And that's what we were talking about earlier in the press conference. When she comes, I hope all our fan base says hi to her, talks to her. I know sometimes in sports we can get caught up like, well, I don't want to make Coach Sam mad. Why? Like, what she did along with the alums that are on her bench, we're forever grateful. When you plant your feet here in Starkville, you're one of us. You might leave, but you never leave. And we're going to respect, like I said, respect for the time that they put in. Talk to her all you want. We're going to shake hands, but when the ball's tipped, I think she's going to have the same mindset I do. We're ready to win. And at that point, for 4 quarters, we're going to try to get after each other.
I just wanted to follow up on your opening statement. I guess, for you, coaching women's basketball, how exciting is it to have an athletic director that, worked at a place like Oklahoma where, softball, women's basketball, they've had a lot of success, with women's athletics as well?
Mm-hmm. Great question. I'm excited. Very excited, yeah, because he understands the climate, especially North Carolina he was at too. So his DNA, his background, and what he's about, he has a vision and understanding with some of the programs that have some of the top facilities and top programs in the country of what the standard is. So when you have someone who's worked there and understand why success happens, because again, in any athletic department, yes, players are important, but everybody has a huge role. Marketing, our SID department, everybody's training department, transportation, business office. So for him to come in there and understand what an organization looks like at the highest level and come in here hungry and most importantly energetic, because that's the one thing I love about this place, with us both being new, that this place is about people, and if you have a vision and you have an energy about you, special things can happen, and there's no doubt that he's going to bring that vibe and that energy here to Starkville.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you.